Shalom, Israel, shalom. Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach, Malak Yahushai. All right, shalom to the mighty brothers out there, right? Enduring into the end, right? Making your body a living sacrifice, keeping the commandments, have faith in Yahweh, Shema Shai. Mighty shalom. Shalom to the sisters as well, holding it down in the household, right? Reverencing your husband, doing the mighty works of a woman according to the Bible, and also keeping the commandments and have faith in Yahweh Shema Shai. Shalom, shalom. Today on this Mapogo Monday, we're going to be getting into training up a child in the way he should go. Because as we know in society today, that the new generation, right, is wild, man, right? And it's ultimately because of the parents, man. Because the parents are not training their children in the way that they should go, right? Instead, you got parents out here teaching they kids how to smoke, right? How to do all the abominable works against the commandments and against the Most High God in general, right? So getting into training up in a child in the way he should go is through the scriptures, right? Your child is supposed to know of the Bible. Your child is supposed to know of the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Shah, right? Let's get Proverbs chapter 22 and verse number 6, right? Because nowadays it's very evident, so like that our people, right, in general, right, do not know how to train up their children, because the children are the next generation, right? The youngins, the younger children are the next generation, and they're supposed to be doing mightier than us, right? But we have to steer them into the right direction, right? We have to show them in the way they should go, which is according to the law, statutes, and commandments. They should be following after the instructions of Yahweh Shem Shai, right? So this is Proverbs chapter 22 and verse number 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So you train up a child in the way he should go, right? So that when he gets older, he does not depart from it. He has memory of what you taught him. And like children, they're like a sponge. They always watching you, right? They're always gonna watch your every single move, and they're gonna even a lot of times mimic your moves, man. Right? So it's very important to instill the law, statutes, and commandments within your children, right? Hey, when you read, your children read, right? When you pray, your children pray, right? When you walk after these law, statutes, and commandments, and your children are supposed to be walking after the law, statutes, and commandments as well, right? So train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. He's not gonna depart from the ways that you taught him, right? Our parents need to teach the children the right things, man, so that they won't depart from it, man. Because nowadays you got parents out here teaching they children the wrong things, man, and they not departing from that. It's almost like they normal, right? So what are some of the things that what are some of the things that the parents are supposed to be showing the children, right? Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse number 7. So like Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse number 7. All right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse number 2 or verse number 1. Right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse number 1. Now these are the commandments, the statutes, the judgments, which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it, that thou mightest fear the Lord thy God, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged, man. Right? So this is supposed to be taught from to your son, to your son's son, right? And it goes down from generation to generation, right? So that your days could be prolonged, that your children's children could be, their days could be prolonged, right? This is a generational thing, and it has to be a trickle down effect, man, right? There's no reason, there should be no point of time where your children are not learning about Yahweh Shem Shai, where their learning just stops of the law, statutes, and commandments. It should always be a refresher, man, right? You should continue to want to teach your children, man, no matter how old they are, because you got some people saying, "Hey, that's a grown man. He do what he want. That's a grown woman. She do what she want." No, man. Does the Most High do that? No. You got some people coming into this truth 50, 60, 70 years old, man. It's not about the ages, man. It's not about the ages at all. It's about making sure you have this knowledge so that you won't depart from it. All right? So let's get Psalms. Or no, Salakia. Let's read on. Right? Verse number 6. It says, "In these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart." So everything that the Most High God is explaining to us in Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 1 on down is supposed to be in our minds. Right? Our heart is our mind. It's supposed to be within our mind. Right? From generation to generation. Right? All the days of our life. Right? Verse number 7, it says, "And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children." Right? So you're supposed to be teaching these law, statutes, and commandments to your children. You're supposed to be teaching the statutes, the judgments to your children. And they're supposed to teach their children, huh? And then their children's children are supposed to teach their children. Right? "And shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thy house." Right? When you just sitting in your house, man. Right? You kind of just on your phone. Hey, you're supposed to teach your children. Right? "And when thou walkest by the way," we even when times taking walks, man, right? You need to be teaching your children. Your children are supposed to be constantly learning each and every day, any time of the day, man. Hey, man, the kids nowadays going to damn Esau school, man, and hey, they learning a whole different type of education now. It's a whole different type of education now. Shalom, Don, shalom. Y'all about to right? It's a whole different type of education within Esau's school system. So this is the perfect time to teach your children, especially when they could comprehend now, the law, statutes, and commandments. You have to teach your children the law, statutes, and commandments when they just sitting in the house, when they walking by the way, right? "And when thou liest down, and when thou rises up." When your children is ready to go to bed, man, right? Hey, what's the best bedtime story, man? The scriptures, right? There's many accounts, there's many stories within this Bible, man, of mighty brothers and mighty sisters, right? "And when thou rises up," even when you wake up in the morning, right? When you wake up in the morning, this is supposed to be taught to your children. Read them a little something before they even go to school. Read them a little bit something while they brushing their teeth, right? Washing their face, right? This is going to be more interesting to our children than it is to us, man. Our children, right? Lord willing, will be called blameless, without sin, right? Without spot. They not gonna be they not even gonna have the chance to touch pork, nor smell it. They're not gonna be celebrating the folly days of America, right? They're not gonna be doing wickedness of this world, because you should be teaching your children the law, statutes, and commandments. Train up a child in a way he should go. And what way is that? Through the law, statutes, and commandments. Real quick, right? Let's get 2 Timothy chapter 2. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 15. Right? This is 2 Timothy chapter 3 in verse number 15. And that from a child thou has known the holy scriptures, man. From a child. For brothers and sisters that have children, right? They're supposed to know these scriptures from a child on up. Right? It's bad enough that we didn't know, right? Let's make that way for our children, for the next generation, right? For the younger brothers and sisters. Let's give them that chance to do mightier than we ever could, right? And that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is in Hamashiach Yahushua, right? So which are able to make thee wise unto salvation, man, right? So making you wise, these scriptures will make your children wise, man, right? Will make you wise as well. But this topic is about training up a child in the way he should go. This is how you're supposed to be training up your child. And it's within the law, statutes, and commandments. It's within the instructions that is given by Yahweh Shem Shah, right? Every single lesson or life lesson that you should be teaching comes out of the Bible, man. It comes out of your sword. So this is what you should be teaching your children, right? There's a reason why Esau took the Bibles out of the schools, man, right? Because he knew if our children were to read that Bible in school, Esau would be finished, man. Right? There's gonna be another young Jake out here, man. Right? Young mighty brother in the spirit of the Mattathias, man. Zealous, like crazy, man. The same zeal as Phineas, like it says in First Maccabees, I believe, chapter 2. Right? They're the spirits of the prophets are coming back, man. Right? We don't know who we are in the spirit. We don't know if those prophets, the spirit of the prophet is going to be within our own children. Lord willing, right? But our children are going to be doing mightier than what we ever could do. As long as you train your child in the law, statutes, and commandments. That's the only way. That's the only way to go about it. Right? Your children should not be thinking of bubble guppies more than the scriptures, man. Right? It'll be a better feeling instead of your child asking, hey, when does bubble guppies come on? The better question should be, hey, what did Yahweh do during this time? Or what did Yahweh do during that time? Or what did David do between this time and that time? Hey, those are better questions, man. But those type of questions are only going to come from your children when you train up your child in the way he should go, which is through the instructions of Yahweh Shem Shah. All right, let's get Psalms chapter 78 and verse number 5. Salaki, I'm kind of under the weather, man. But, hey, sickness don't stop the word from coming out, man. All right? The sickness does not stop the word from coming out. Right? This Psalms chapter 78 and verse number 5. For he established the testimony of Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers that they should make them known unto their children. Right? So these laws, statutes, and commandments was given unto Israel, unto Jacob, so that they could be made known to their children, so that it could be taught throughout generation and generation, man. Verse number 6, that the generation to come might know them. It's another generation, man. The next generation might know them, so that your children can know the law, statutes, and commandments, so that your children can know Yahweh Shem Shai. Right? Even the children which should be born, even the newborns, man, that they might know, because they're gonna be watching you, man. Right? who should arise and declare them to their children, right? So it's generation to generation, huh? Your child is gonna teach his child, right? And he's gonna teach his child. Then he's gonna teach his child. And this is gonna go down the line, man. That's what we need in Israel. Right? Reading on, verse number 7. That they might set their hope in God and not forget the works of God, but keep his commandments, right? So that they can have hope in the Most High God, man. Not hope in Santa Claus, right? Not hoping Thanksgiving coming back around, right? Not hoping in going to Party City to get a costume for Halloween, right? Not putting their hope in for the next birthday, right? But putting their hope in Yahweh Shem Yahushai and keeping his law, statutes, and commandments. That's where their hope is supposed to lie. That's where their faith is supposed to be. That's where the belief and trust is supposed to be, man. Within Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? So when you train up a child in the way he should go, you train your child up in the law, statutes, and commandments. Now, knowing children, right? Children need correction, man. Right? Children do need correction. And we're not just talking about no soft words, man. Hey, your child might need to get a whooping, man. Right? To get that point across. To get that type of correction that he or she desperately needs, man. Right? Because there's a lot of times where you'll have parents say, I don't whoop my child. And that's the problem, man. That's why your child is doing whatever he want to do or whatever she want to do, man. That's why you got so many women out here making OnlyFans. Because they ain't had no correction as a child. That's why you got Jake out here doing all amounts of wickedness, man. Everything in the book. Because he never had correction within the household. The parents need to correct their children. And knowing that majority of the time, the child is being raised by the mother. Hey, the mother needs to put that correction on the child, man. Ain't no, oh, nah, I don't like to hit my baby. He's so sweet. No, man. If your child is going off, hey, man, you need to give him that whipping, man. You need to give him that correction so that he knows right from wrong. Right, let's get Deuteronomy, Proverbs, Salakia. Proverbs chapter 22 and verse number 15. Right? This is Proverbs chapter 22 and verse number 15. Right? Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. So foolishness is in a child's mind, man. In a child's mind, the foolishness is always there. Right? But the rod of correction shall drive it far from him. That rod of correction gets rid of that foolishness. Now your child becomes he becomes wise through action, through talking, right? And that's ultimately how you should want your child to be, man. Very wise, right? A lot of the times, hey, just talking is not gonna cut it, man. Right? Your child might say, hey, you talk too much. Hey, man, we not no Edomites, right? You just can't say those certain things to your parents and expect not anything to happen, right? Little Billy Bob could say that to his mama, and she kind of closed the door nicely, right? I'm sorry, right? She'll say, I'm sorry, right? I never do it again, right? But when your parent tell you to do something, as a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, right? An Israelite mother or father tell you to do something, you try to talk back, and you might have a pan thrown your way, man. Right? Depending on your age, your father might put his hands on you, man. Right? Mama might start throwing plates, might even jack you up, man. Right? Collar all loose. Now your shirt all torn up. Right? It's a difference between us and those Edomites. We're not the Edomites, man. We're not so-called white people. Right? We a bit different, man. So when it comes to correction, our people need to correct the children. Because foolishness is bound in the mind of the child. The child can sometimes be foolish, man. And that's not wrong to say, because it's thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible, right? But that rod of correction would drive it far from him. And that's what we need, right? We need our children to be corrected, because there's so much wickedness in this world to try to put things into their mind, and they might even catch on to it, man. Grab hold of it. And you need to be that correction. You need to provide that correction to give to that child, man, right? So that they won't veer off into their wickedness, man. Right? Let's get Salaki. Proverbs chapter 23 and verse number 13. It says, withhold not correction from the child. Right? Don't ever think in your mind that your child don't need to be corrected. Neither don't even spare them. If there's a slight even glimpse of seeing your child going off, right? Hey, you got to give them correction, man. Right? Sometimes it might be just through the words, but sometimes, hey, you might have to grab that belt, right? You might need to grab the ruler, right? Hey, maybe the hey man, the switches need to come back out, man. Right? Right? Ain't nobody using those no more, because knowing how Esau is, he'll try to tell you how to raise your children, right? But the correction needs to be there, right? That's the point of this. Correction needs to be there. This is going into how to train up a child in the way he should go, man. Correction. Your child needs correction. Without your child have correction, hey, he's bound to do whatever he want to do, right? He's bound to do nothing but wickedness, right? He'll think in his mind he ain't got to keep the laws of Yahweh Shem Shai. Hey, that's off, man. Children need correction. And it's time for our people to give it. Right? Proverbs chapter 23 and verse number 13, it says, withhold not correction from the child. For if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. Right? Thou shalt beat him with the rod and shall deliver his soul from hell, man. Right? With correcting your child, you saving your child's life, man. Think about it like that. That's thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible, man. Thou shalt beat him with the rod and shalt deliver his soul from death, man. Or Salakia, deliver his soul from hell, which is the pit, which is the grave, which is also from death. Right? So you have to correct your child, right? In a manner of Yahweh Shema Shai and how he's instructing you to do it. Right? How is the Most High whooping us? Hey, we got the whooping stick on us right now. This captivity, man. We can't catch a break. Right? Hey, he used the other nations to whoop us, man. And just imagine how many whoopings we done already got. Multiple. There's somebody right now going through it. Getting beat on right now by the other nations. Because that's that correction from Yahweh Shemel Shah. Right? That is that correction. Let's get Proverbs chapter 29, right? In verse number 17. This is Proverbs chapter 29, in verse number 17. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. Hey, man, these are wise words from Solomon, man. Right? Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest, man. If I ever at a point in time you thought it would be stressful to have children, like you were going to rub your forehead, scratch your head, you had to sweat off your forehead, like you would have rest if you correct your children. Your children won't be going off as much as if you were correcting your children properly. You correct your children according to the Bible. The Bible gives you the exact ways on how to correct your child in the proper form. If you don't do that, if you don't go according to the scriptures and follow the instructions of Yahweh Shem Shai, how is your children going to grow up right? How are your children going to stay in this faith, man? How are your children going to continue to love Yahweh Shem Shai, keep his law, statutes, and commandments, man? If you're not correcting them, you have to correct your children, man. You have to, right? So like it. Verse number 17. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. Yea, he shall give delight unto thy soul, man. Your soul is going to be joyful, man. You're going to enjoy your children just by giving them correction, training up that child in the way he should go, man. Putting it within his mind, hey, you need to keep this law, statutes, and commandments no matter what. No matter what happens, you keep the law, statutes, and commandments and continue to have faith in Yahweh Shem Shai. Those are things that you need to tell your children on a daily. And if they try to veer off, hey, you correct them and you put them right back on track. The same thing that the Most High God is doing to us, man. We constantly have to be put back on track, right, by Yahweh Shem Shai. Why can't you correct your children? Why can't you correct your children, man? We're supposed to learn off of the scriptures. These scriptures were written for us, written for our learning, man. So when we're being told to correct our children, to beat them with a rod and deliver their souls from death or from hell, amen, you got to do that. Your child is going to go off sometimes, man. Your child has foolishness in his mind. That's why you're put in a certain position to correct him, huh? Him or her. Children need correction. This is how you train up the child in the way he should go. By the scriptures, by the instructions of Yahweh Shem Shai. Right? Let's go to verse number 16. Proverbs chapter 29 and verse number 16. It says, when the wicked, Salakia. Verse number 15. It says, the rod of reproof give wisdom. So the correction that you give to your children, it's wisdom. It's knowledge. You're showing by action of what to do and what not to do. Right? I'm going to read it again. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame. Huh? We already experienced how if you leave the child to himself, meaning he's doing his own thing, hey, the mother is in shame, huh? Right? The mother's going through it. Right? Because there was no correction within the household, man. No correction whatsoever. And now the mother is about to shame, right? Now the father don't know what to do because he think his father, he think his son is too far off. These instructions are supposed to be taught to our children from a young age, man. You should start teaching your child the law, statutes, and commandments, the instructions of the Yahweh Shem Shai, as soon as he's able to comprehend. Right? This is how you know we Hebrews, man. Because as soon as the child is born, right? When the child is born, not as soon as when the child is born, but time after, the child will say Dada or Mama. That's Hebrew alphabets, man. Those are Hebrew alphabets. That's how you know we're Hebrew Israelites, man. Hey, the Edomites, I'm inclined the Edomites say those babies don't say that. All right. Those babies do not say that, man. Right? No folly. Right? But with our children being like that at a young age and knowing that age of when they could comprehend, you at that point start teaching the children. right? A great example. A great example is Chief Ephraim's son, man. Shout out to the young prince, and shout out to Chief Ephraim and his wife, man. That's a prime example of how to train up a child in the way he should go, right? Same with Nadiv, man, and his son, Amos Praila, right? Learning the scriptures, learning the Lord's Prayer, man, right? Learning the Paleo Hebrew, right? Asking questions here and there. That's mighty, man. All because it was correction. They didn't let their child just go off and do whatever they want to do, man. They understand that their child has to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Because it's commanded. It's commanded for the parents to teach their children this way. Right? It's no, and some not gonna understand this when I say it, but I'm gonna just say it, right? Hey, your child just can't be whatever he wanna be. All right? That's world talk, right? Your child is supposed to be a servant of Yahweh Shemel Shai. That's what we were made to be. Your child ain't supposed to be, oh, you could be anything you want to be, babe. No. Lord willing, I have children. It ain't none of that, man. You supposed to be a servant to Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right, let's get Isaiah chapter 44, right? In verse number 1. It says, yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. So we're chosen to be servants to Yahweh Shemel Shai, right? We're chosen to be servants to Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. There's no point of time where you should be telling you, hey, you could be whatever you desire to be, man. That's why a lot of our children are strung out and bugged out now because of that type of talk. Oh, you could be whatever you want to be. Just put your mind to it. No. Put your mind towards Yahweh Shemel Shai. Put your mind towards keeping the commandments of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Have your children understand, hey, we servants for the Most High God who created heaven and earth. That's way better than being a police officer. Way better than being a firefighter or a doctor or a lawyer. I would much rather want to be a servant of Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. And I wish I was taught this at a young age, man. But it wasn't of the Most High's will. Lord willing, I had some children, man, and hey, man, children gonna be mighty in the spirit of empower Yahweh Shemel Shai. Because I'm gonna do my best to train up the child in the way he should go, which is within the law, statutes, and commandments. Because all these scriptures were written for our learning. Let's get that in Romans chapter 15 and verse number 4. It's a lucky again, Israel. All right. I am kind of under the weather. All right. That's for the new people that just got on. I am a little under the weather, but the word still got to come out. Right? So this is Romans chapter 15 and verse number 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning. Right? So everything that was written before our time were written for our learning, man. Right? That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. These scriptures are going to be our comfort and our hope, man. It's going to help us in these last days. Right? This wisdom of this world is foolishness with God, man. But with the wisdom of Yahweh Shemel Shai brings us life, man. Brings us peace. Brings us rest. Right? And it's all found within the scriptures. So now with reading these scriptures and learning from these scriptures, and you're built up a different type of way, man. And that's how you should want your children. Built up within the scriptures, man. Right? So like let's get Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 24. All right. Proverbs chapter 13 and verse number 24. He that spareth his rod hateth his son. Right? So if you don't want to correct your children, if you don't want to give your children any whoopings, man, for the ignorance or the foolishness that they do, and you hate your children, man. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Holy Bible, right? By you giving correction to your children, you show an amount of love towards your children, right? And our children desperately need that, man. Foolishness is found in the mind of children. Your children should not always be foolish. Growing up, this should be at a point of time where, hey, that foolishness is gone, man, because you did not spare the rod, right? But he that loveth him chasteneth him be times, man. So if you love your children, you will chasten him be times, multiple times, man. Every time that you see him going off, right? If your child even have a slight urge to touch the pork, man, hey, correction. Even if he touched the pork, eat the pork. Hey, correction, man. Off the rip. Because your children, hey, this is the next generation, man. We like, hey, man, the next generation gonna be mighty. There's a bigger picture and there's a bigger mission, man. And our children gonna be involved in it. Our children gonna see some things that, hey, Lord willing, we see, but you know how prophecy come to pass and years still going on. You know what I'm saying? Our children might be seeing those times, man. But how is your child gonna be? How is your child gonna have a spiritual eye, right? Or be able to understand the times if you don't train him, if you don't show him, right? If you don't teach him. When you train up a child in the way he should go, you train him up within the scriptures, man. Not within the world. The world profits us nothing but destruction. But the instructions of Yahweh Shemel Shai gives us life, man. And that's what we should want for our children. This is not only for us, but this is for our children, man. We choose life not only for ourselves, but for our children. So that our children can live, man. Right? So when you train up a child in the way he should go, you train your child up within the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right? And Lord willing, uh, for the brothers and sisters that is on this live now, I hope and pray that you were edified through this video in the power of Yahweh Shemel Shai now, right? Let's continue to keep faith in Yahweh Shemel Shai, continue to keep the commandments, man. Continue to think about the children. Think about the next generation. Think about how things are supposed to go with them. Think about what your duty is towards your children so that we could raise up a mighty nation, man, of mighty princes and princesses, man. Right? So love y'all, Israel, right? I hope y'all have another rest of the day, or I know it is kind of late, but have a good night's rest as well. And let's continue to keep faith and keep the commandments of Yahweh Shemel Shai, man, and dare to the end. This is something that we need, man. Right? We all want to make it to the kingdom, but we have to follow after the instructions of Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right, Israel. Shalom.